GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Jordan started recording.
Listen up, please!
I'm glad you're here.
Mind orgasms and fantasies.
By the way, I want to say something that I absolutely love.
The back of my head may or may not look like a pug.
Somebody's misguided. The younger generation.
If you can wipe your own ass, then the other guy gets shot.
And I don't know that you notice it, but I do.
We found out who we truly are, which is a bunch of assholes.
Most of the time it's because I'm turned away from you.
Why did you buy the vibrating strap-on pillow?
But there's something that I absolutely love.
Oh, I couldn't be happier.
Now, there was a time when we had to hide and we had to be quiet.
Right now, he's wearing a tinfoil hat.
Have you ever heard the term misguided? I've been misguided.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome to another episode of Misguided Musings. On this episode, we are going to hit up some current events. Jesse's got some unfiltered opinions to give, and we may or may not have a visit from Lawrence. So strap in.
Or strap on. It's up to you.
Jesse knows a little bit about that. Just ask his mother.
Oh, come on now.
Oh.
Ask my stepfather. He received it.
A peg leg.
How long was it, Jesse? I need to know. How long?
About a foot.
About a foot.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's terrifying for a lot of people.
Enough for someone to follow him around and yell shame 1,000 times. It was me.
Oh, boy. All right, so let's kick it off, guys. Let's jump right into it, because I don't care how your weeks were. The first thing on our agenda is the real-life SVU episode. Did you guys see that there's this doctor who impregnated, like, a bunch of women with his own sperm at a sperm bank?
Again, it would be... Yeah, that's...
So,
Don't
I'm trying
do
to
that.
figure out. So, like, was he running low? Was it like the I Love Lucy episode where she and Ethel are trying to, like, box up all the chocolates and they wind up just shoving them all in their mouth? Like, was he just like... Was it like shenanigans? Like haphazard shenanigans? Or was it like he was like, I just want to make a lot of babies?
I think he was on thin ice with his boss and he knocked a shelf over and was like, oh, what am I going to do?
Exactly. Was it...
Oh, no.
I can
He's just
feel
a
them
clumsy...
moving.
He's like a Mr. Magoo doctor. Oh my god.
So
Emphasis on the Magoo.
Magoo.
Yeah, like so do we know what the story was, or did he just
so
like...
he used his own sperm at least 50 times instead of the donated sperm that his patients were expecting.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out why. Were they on a deadline and he just like ran out? Did it expire?
He literally told them that, you know, he was like, they were getting regular people's sperm and then giving his own. I assume he was getting his jollies off and knowing that he had a baby or ate.
Ugh.
It's like narcissism at its finest.
It really is.
Most of us try our hardest not to come in random women. He sees a random woman and he's like, I can't wait to get my cum in that.
I literally went to surgery at the VA to avoid this scenario. This exact scenario, actually, is like more kids.
Seriously, you hit the penis off switch with a knife.
Yeah.
I think his whole thing was like, oh man, I'm not going to have to pay child support for 8 kids. I'm going to be Antonio Cromartie, but white. Oh, come on.
Maybe he once saw how Twinkies were made and he was like, you know what? Life goals. Hashtag.
Dude, Antonio Cromartie is down. I mean, by the time people listen to this, I don't know what the situation's going to be. But he got hurt pretty bad today playing against Denver.
Well, I'm not his best friend. I just want to make fun of the fact that he's got 8 children by 8 different women.
No. I'm excited because I hate him. I think he's a dick.
Actually, I think the total was 10 children by 8 different women, but I'm not sure.
That is too many. That is too many children.
Where do you draw the line?
Too many women. Yeah, when do you call it quits?
Speaking of that...
Out of the 8 women, who did he decide could have 2 of the children?
Speaking of that, I you know what? I know we haven't really talked about this in a production meeting, but it just jumped into my head. Speaking of too many children, the Duggars just adopted number 20.
Why?
Yeah.
Why too many? They have too many.
Not only do they have too many, but they are some fucked up people. Like with
What
the
happened? Did the
ankle length.
the
I mean, one of their
octopus?
kids a rapist.
The ankle length dresses and the fact that you need to like submit to your husband, like that's cool and all. I mean, I'd love to have someone submit to me, but
Jordan,
I mean,
Jordan,
I think
did the vampire squid vagina eat Jim Bob or something? Like,
What?
I mean,
I don't get
I'm
the
actually
reference.
just I'm
What do you-
I'm trying
Vampire
to right.
It's been a hard week.
Yeah.
Vagina.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the woman, her vagina's wrecked. I mean,
oh yeah, it's
so
done. That shit's done.
They just march out of there at this point.
it looks like the Thing from the John Carpenter movie. It's just
It's like it's like
the
that.
stomach mouth. I
Razor
know
It's
what you
sharp.
mean.
like the water
Stomach
slide that
mouth.
decapitated that kid.
oh man, that's
Well, it's in. Well, I don't
Bruised
mean the kid. I just
tentacles.
mean that the German word for it is insanity or something.
so.
They named it German words.
Well, she would have a very successful career as a German porn star with that vagina.
Well, that's because a guy could walk in and set up shop. Here, movers, put the couch over here. I want the rotating bed over here. Ooh, a lava
Yeah,
lamp.
but doesn't it need a little bit of? Doesn't it need an aquarium, Jordan? The vagina. How warm does the water need to be?
I work more than 40 hours a week, and I go to school, and I only have 3 kids, and I feel like I don't spend nearly enough time with them. Mostly because I'm palling around with you dickheads every Sunday. What I'm trying to figure out, though, is like, how does he have time for 20 fucking kids?
Your kids are asleep right now, so I don't want to hear that.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's like,
And Jesse's kids
How
are in
do you have
napkins,
time
so I think we're all set.
We're pretty good.
he's got a beautiful row of knuckle children in his room right now.
Don't hate me because
Jordan,
I'm
let's put some
responsible.
Epsom salt in
Like,
that
how do you have
aquarium.
time for 20 kids? I have 3, and I barely have any time for them.
Well, maybe that's why one of them's a child molester of his own sisters. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is it was the first one.
Yeah,
Like, they totally fucked up the first one.
Their
How do you
fresh
fuck up
batch
the
of
first one and then
DNA.
think, oh, let's have more? Because his kid, like, molested his cousin and their daughters, like, when he was, like, 14. Which means that they had, like, 7 kids after that. When one of your kids molests another one of your kids, that's when you call it quits and you're like, you know what, no more.
Yeah,
What
the
if
DNA's got to be getting thin at this point.
Yeah, like, what if down at the bottom of the row is, like, Ed Gein? Come on, don't have
they're
any
like
more.
they're like the Joe Paternos of
Yeah.
like the weird multi-children religion weird group cult thing. I don't know. Are they Shakers? Are they? I don't know exactly what their religion is, but it makes me uncomfortable that they don't let their children.
They're part of a
Let's
group.
put it
they're
this way.
part of a group called Quiverful, and their idea is to have a shitload of fucking kids, so that eventually there'll be like a gajillion weirdo fundamentalist Christians roaming the earth. They basically have Westboro Baptist Church in their living room.
So are these the people who are trying to take down like Islam? These are the ones who are like, oh hey, you know what? If we have 1 million kids roaming the world and they have 20 kids each, we could overtake Islam in like 40 years.
Haven't you heard it? I get that from old people all the time. Oh, you're getting married, kid. Make sure you have some kids. We need some more white Christian kids around here. Some more Aryan
What
race. I'm
fucking
like, Jesus,
circles do you
son,
hang
who
out
do you
in?
hang out with?
Holy shit! I have never once heard someone be like, "I need a white Aryan. Your kid has to have blonde hair and blue eyes, or he's fucked." What the?
Matt, you run in some weird circles, bro.
Seriously.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm honestly
a little bit
thinking-
the script aside, but a lot of it had to do with the Muslims are overpopulating the world, and I meant asking. Oh, so I'll just
You
have
know
a
what?
bunch of Aryan kids.
I think the Muslims, the extremists anyway, are doing a fine job of controlling their own population. I just watched a video the other day where a guy was trying to take a selfie with a cell phone, but the cell phone was linked up to a bomb, and he actually killed everyone in the room. So I think they've got this down.
I feel like that's how every
I'm not
selfie should
super-
end.
I don't think we should be worried about overpopulation.
That's
That's
just
the best
Samsung's
selfie
new
death,
program.
though. That's the best selfie death. Wasn't there like a list of like 22 of the last pictures before like a selfie death?
Sarge, he wasn't a terrorist. He just bought a Galaxy set.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
Excellent.
So the Note 7's been blown up, as you guys could probably tell. That sucks for Samsung.
One of them.
This
was a
is why
drone.
you never buy a phone like the week it's released.
You know what? You know what though?
There's always bugs.
Let's be fair.
There's always
They've
bugs.
referred to Samsung as the
Sometimes-
iPhone killer. They're just hoping it gets next to one of these times.
I mean,
Oh, just give
sometimes-
another conspiracy to fucking Alex Jones again.
I mean, well, think about it though. Like sometimes your coding doesn't work. Sometimes it blows off a 5-year-old's hand. You don't know what's going to happen. You got to wait at least a month.
Sometimes Decepticons.
It's just, you know, it's just market research, baby.
No, but you know, this,
Can I also say the Duggars? I'm going to go back 1 minute. I think they have so many kids because every time one of their sons' relationship ends, they have to have them make him a new partner. Sorry.
I think anyone who's named Jim Bob by their parents should be legally castrated.
Can we mail a bunch of Galaxy 7s to the Duggars?
It's just God's plan, Jim Bob. It's God's plan.
it's like Galaxy. It's like Note 7 roulette because not all the devices were affected. So it's just like, here, let's get a bunch and hope that one of them one day just decides to explode.
Well, there's one guy who said that his car caught fire and burned down. But what was
Not only
funny about that whole thing is that the phone he had wasn't even part of the batch that was blowing up.
Right.
So the guy's just like, oh, let me light my car on fire and see where this goes.
his IMEI. So, you know, for people who don't know, there's a serial number that's attached to every phone, and they're made in batches. And so the particular IMEI, which is the serial number on his phone, just didn't match up with anything that was affected. So they're like, yeah, well, I mean, you lost your car, so maybe have your insurance company investigate, in which I'm sure they're going to be like, hey, there's an accelerant in here. What's weird?
Did he live in Palestine?
No, he lived in St. Petersburg, Florida, so...
Okay. So
I think the problem is
doesn't
that
work. It wasn't a selfie. It wasn't an errant selfie, that's for sure.
The problem is that Samsung refused to fucking recall the phones. They kept being like, "Yeah, it might blow up." So
No.
discretion.
They voluntarily
now-
recalled all the phones, but
Now
let's.
it took them a bit.
No, it didn't. And
Yeah.
they were out for like a weekend, and then all of a sudden it was that week, and people were like, there was 35 claims. There were 3 million devices sold and 35 claims. You have a better chance of getting pregnant on birth control than you do of having a Note 7 explode on you.
Yeah, but once
and
it
Jesse,
kept
let me-
happening, they still tried to do it company-wide. They didn't go through what is it, the federal...
The
something?
government,
Like a
if
federal-
it got to the point where the government was doing it, they'd be fucked. They did it on their own.
They're doing
they got
it
ahead.
now.
Yeah.
They're working with the government now to do a proper recall.
Let me give you some context, though. GM made a bunch of trucks with this software in their engine, and the software was effectively disabling the airbag in the truck. So the truck would
That
get
sounds
into
like
an
a roulette
accident,
game.
and the airbag wouldn't go off. This is linked to at least one death. They found out the software was faulty in 2014 and didn't recall the trucks until September of this year. So,
Well,
waited a month before they recalled the phones, or waited fucking 2 years, and were willingly selling these trucks to people, and then go, so listen, don't crash it, because you may or may not make it.
And maybe
Linked
we
to
should
1 death, 36 injuries.
maybe we should
basically they were playing steering wheel stiff arm roulette.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, maybe we should look at Volkswagen and Toyota. They also
They just called it the Princess Diana special.
Oh, Jesus.
Comes with a free bottle of Head and Shoulders in the dash.
Hey.
Hello! Old joke, bringing it back.
Oh boy.
The last thing that goes through your mind is the steering wheel.
It's just a theme ride. Just a theme ride.
Back in 2007 in Scotland, to commemorate the 10th year anniversary of Princess Diana's death, they put Princess Diana images on all the...
I think Matt is rebooting.
He had a stroke.
An update came in.
Matt's Galaxy 7 just went off. Actually, we should probably update all those jokes. Should we replace Princess Diana with Ryan Dunn or Paul Walker?
Well, since I liked Ryan Dunn and I don't give a fuck about Paul Walker, I think we should...
Ryan Dunn didn't have a 16-year-old girlfriend. Paul Walker
What?
did.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Paul Walker had a girlfriend that lived in Hawaii that he had been dating since she was 16.
Hey Matt, did you finish that thought or
He was not 16 when he met her. He was in his 30s.
Is Matt dead? I think Matt might be dead.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right,
Matthew.
well, you know what?
This is just like Cold Case Files. This is just like Cold Case Files.
Let's move on to Alexis
It
Arquette.
hasn't been long enough to be like Cold Case.
Let's move
Files.
on to Alexis Arquette before Matt comes back.
sorry
There
about
it
that,
is.
guys.
There it is.
Did you finish your thought, Matt? What happened to you?
There was an issue with the microphone,
Oh, okay.
and I had to fix it. Sorry about that. And then just what I was saying, airbags. That's what it was. Well, it doesn't help the joke now, but go ahead.
Actually, the joke would have been. It is now funnier because it took you so long to tell us.
I mean, I was really hoping that we would get to this before we got insensitive Scottish guy back, but Alexis Arquette died. Obviously, she's the probably most popular. Is it a transvestite?
We'll just
No.
say trans.
Transvestite is somebody who is either gay or straight, but they dress up as the opposite gender. A transsexual is somebody who actually identifies as the opposite gender of what they were born as.
And I believe
Boy
Alexis
George
Arquette
is a
identified,
transvestite.
didn't she?
Alexis Arquette did identify as a woman for a while, but near the end she passed away. And before she passed away, she actually decided that she wanted to be known as he again, and was no longer identifying as a woman when she passed away.
Okay.
So when he passed away, I guess.
Except for all the obligatory obits were like, "Hey, Alexis Arquette."
Yeah, it looked like everybody was a bit confused. I mean, when you think about it, it is kind of a difficult
Do you
situation.
really want to say that in a bit where we're talking about transsexuals?
All I'm
Maybe we
saying
should be a
is-
little bit more careful with the words that
No.
we choose.
What I'm saying is,
It's just a phase.
No. You're not. What I'm trying to say was,
Well, don't
everyone
flip
was a little
flop, Christian.
confused
Don't be
about it.
one thing and say you're another.
No, what they were saying is the news articles were all saying
People were
still
confused. I
they
know,
were
it's
still
weird.
referring to her as she, even though in a couple of the articles they actually quoted people as saying that Alexis had gone back to living as a man. Is what I was trying to get out.
Gotcha.
And
That's
so
fair.
I think everyone was just trying to be like, well,
Now he's really thinking
is
about
it
the words he wants
still
to
a
use.
he or a she? Is it a he? Is it a she? But anyway, long story short,
Are we
Alexis.
are we going with?
Alexis was still, from what I understand, a very cool person. So it's kind of shitty that I'm going to say she because I didn't talk to her and she didn't tell me she was going.
Last time I talked to her, she was a she. So
fucking great, awesome character in Wedding Singer. I think honestly, like, it was definitely stole the movie away. Like, so fucking funny in that movie, and she's been in a bunch of other movies. She was a real advocate, not like Caitlyn Jenner, who basically wants to hang out with Ted Cruz, which I don't understand at all.
I don't understand Caitlyn Jenner. How can you be transsexual and anti-gay marriage?
Yeah, how does that work?
how can you want to be a woman but keep your penis? That's what I really want to understand.
Well, I think Caitlyn had said that she was too old and just didn't want to have the surgery. Also, from what I understand, transsexuals have a very difficult sex life. If they get rid of their organs, they modify their organs to become the gender
Didn't he
they
keep
want.
the dick? I think he kept the dick.
Yeah, he did keep the dick.
That's what we were just talking about. Thank you for joining the episode.
Cut
Yeah.
the balls so
No.
there wouldn't be any splashes in the toilet, but he kept the
I would keep it. I mean, I still want to orgasm. And there's a market for that, according to the internet.
Apparently his orgasm is
So-
hitting people with his car.
Brock Turner got out of jail early. We discussed that a little bit. But what we didn't discuss,
Fucking
because
Brock.
it hadn't happened yet, was that Brock Turner is now doing a speaker series, a motivational speaker series on the dangers of drinking and being promiscuous.
I'm kind of
So-
surprised that it wasn't on the dangers of hanging out with Brock Turner if you're a girl.
God, I hope that his fucking stand-up, his little motivational speaker tours, I hope they end the same way that Malcolm X's speech did. With a shotgun to the chest at a podium.
What I want to know is, like, who's
I'm not
who's
comparing
gonna
Brock
pay
Turner
money?
and Malcolm X. Malcolm X, great dude. Brock Turner, piece of shit. I just hope he dies the same way.
Who's gonna pay
His
money?
We do
shotgun
have a
doesn't
list
seem
for
to be
John
comfortable.
Hinckley.
Who's gonna pay money to go
We
see
do have a list for
that
John
fucking
Hinckley.
effeminate weirdo speak about? Like, what's the title of his speech? How not to get, like, don't do what I did. This is how you get away with rape.
No, he still maintains that the reason he raped a girl was because he was drunk, because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, I just
because when I get drunk, no always means yes. That's why I always go through red lights.
I really hope someone murders that kid in front of his stupid mother. You know what? Fuck the mother, too. I hate his
Actually, you know what would be great? If somebody murdered his mother in front of him.
Ah!
Wouldn't that would be
go.
poetic justice, I feel.
That would. An eye for an eye.
Let's handle this like we handled...
I don't feel good about that.
Let's handle this how I handled... Let's handle this how we handled my feelings about Donald Trump. And so I would much rather someone just kill his mother and him. Kiss his mother and him with a gun.
You know I'm not going to go back and put kisses over the kills, so you might as well just own it. You've called for their death, and so has Jesse. Whoever's listening,
I'm not saying I want one of our listeners to go kill him. I don't want our listeners to go kill him. However, if the Grim Reaper happened to be light on a couple of souls that day, I know a couple of people. All of them paid to hear Brock Turner speak, apparently, and they're available.
But if one of our listeners does kill Brock Turner, please plug the podcast when you get arrested and are interviewed by the news.
Hashtag.
Just say I wanted to give a shout out to Misguided Musings. Just be like, this dude was a piece of shit.
Justified.
P.S. And then ask me a question for my UFO.
You got to be careful though, Jesse, because you've already given out your number twice on this episode. On this show.
We gotta not.
We got to make sure we block out your number. We'll retroactively block it out.
So,
go back and remove it from episodes.
Oh boy. I don't even know where the hell to go from here now.
It got dark for a minute. I understand.
I don't know, man. This is a whole different.
We may have gone off the rails a touch.
A little.
Oh, God damn it! I know what he's doing.
A 7-5-3-9.
Oh shit! Oh boy!
If you listen to this show and you have some time in your hands, please go back and piece
You've
together
been listening to phone number
pieces of Jesse's phone number, and please call him. Please call him. He wants to hear from you.
Guys, I don't want to get a new number. It's a lot of work.
Oh man!
Oh my god! All right. Oh boy! All right. On that note, I think we're gonna go take a break. When we come back, we are gonna finish up with just one final current event that I know Sarge here is waiting to talk about, and then we'll hit Jesse's UFO.
Don't use my Muggle name on the internets.
That's why I reverted to Sarge.
Yeah, but you said my name. You got to make sure you edit that out.
I actually didn't even really say it.
No one would have caught it, so you brought a whole bunch of attention to it. Religious name.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, Jesse, that doesn't fucking help either. Now people are going to think my name's Mohammed. Way to go.
Oh, sorry, name that is a religion, so take that, Judaism.
Fuck you, Buddha.
This is a public service announcement with cameras.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be transferred in a lobster? How a coup on humanity was perpetuated by trees? Or stuffing your young sister's cunt with rocks? These are some of the acts or visions conceived by some of Hollywood's filmmakers. This is not art, it's the act of sociopaths.
Visit LockoutThesesThrowingDirectors.com.
Because for each lunatic filmmaker we commit, the less pretentious praise we'll hear like,
Isn't he the new David Lynch? And isn't she the new Woody Allen?
And then we kissed a man.
Welcome back to
giving us his recipe for grilled cheese.
You mean Sarge?
God damn it!
I was mentioning
I'm gonna get fired.
That Sarge is a... I don't know why.
I'm gonna get fired for my job. And then you were gonna have to pay my rent, Jesse, so I hope your comedy career takes off, buddy.
Good luck with.
Jesse can barely pay his own rent.
You're gonna have to start donating your sperm, buddy.
I do already.
No one's gonna want it. Your credit score is terrible.
Jesse donates it to his trash barrel and his tube socks.
Even when the food bank's low, my charity's picking up speed.
So, welcome back to Misguided Musings. We hope you enjoyed the break.
Are you a sperm bank? Because I feel like I gotta make a deposit.
I'm going to take care of some housekeeping real quick. You can follow us on Twitter at Musing Podcast. I'm debuting for the first time ever a new Twitter handle. It is at Muse Knuckle. It's at MuseKnuckle. Matt at Muse Knuckle, exactly how it sounds. Jesse is at African J. Sarge is at Pastor Prophet. And Matt is at An Eclectic Taste. You can follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Misguided Musings. And you can go to our website at www.misguidedmusings.com. So, we left you in an awkward spot. And so we are going to pick up right where we left off. This is episode 26. I don't know if we've even mentioned that because we just jumped right in. But so this is the almost the 1 year mark of us. Our anniversary episode will be next episode. The first time we ever talked about pumpkin spice anything. You guys can't even
motherfucker.
You guys can't even hear it right now. But we figured it was time to do the obligatory pumpkin spice post. We did that on our Facebook page, and now Sarge is going to tell you what he thinks of pumpkin spice everything.
Hey, look! Did you guys see that the pumpkin spice fucking solo cups are available now? You know what? Pumpkin spice lattes are the Ugg boots and North Face jacket of the suburban housewife. It's part of the uniform. Oh, look, pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin spice vodka, pumpkin spice. Pumpkin tastes like shit, you assholes.
It's a devil's gourd.
I agree.
There's a reason you only eat it once a year, because it's fucking disgusting.
Sadly, I like pumpkin coffee.
Oh, Jesse.
I like pumpkin beer.
I don't.
Why?
I don't
Pumpkin
drink lattes.
beer?
Shipyard pumpkin's pretty good.
All pumpkin is stupid.
I have to make...
It's a shitty fruit. It's the only... shitty vegetable. It's the only reason anybody eats it is because the Pilgrims were fucking morons and didn't know how to make anything else.
I have to make a confession real quick. Not only did I have a pumpkin spice macchiato from Dunkin' Donuts this week, I plastered the toilet. Yep, that's fine. And I also chewed some pumpkin spice gum from Extra.
I fucking hate you.
So, Jordan is transitioning
I just
to
don't
a white
understand.
girl.
I don't understand. It's like a company's like, well, everybody likes the pumpkin spice lattes. Why don't we make some pumpkin spice underwear? Let's put together pumpkin spice candles and pumpkin spice clothing.
That's how Chewbacca Mom got started. It was a pumpkin spice mask.
You find things that people like and you just keep making it. It's right up there with candy corn. It's the worst fucking thing about fall.
It's awful.
It was a fucking jack-o'-lantern mask that Chewbacca Mom puts on, and the fucking mouth moves. What's so funny about that?
See?
I
This is
just
what I'm
had to
talking
say
about.
Chewbacca Mom and said Jordan up.
Pumpkin spice lattes are Chewbacca Mom. There's this annoying thing that's just going to show up, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to suck it up for a year. Well, every shitty beer company out there is like, oh, let's make a pumpkin spice latte. And then when you go to the bar, they're going to take the pumpkin spice latte, and they're going to rub it a little bit of cinnamon, and then they're going to spit in the glass, and then they're going to poop in it, and then morons are going to drink it because they're like, oh, it's pumpkin spice.
The difference between pumpkin spice and Chewbacca Mom is pumpkin spice did not rightfully earn the money to send their children to college. Jordan, thoughts?
Hey, listen, you have to do what you can in this world to get by.
You know what? I'm totally fine with the fact that this woman's kids got sent to college. I'm more annoyed that she got sent to college for free.
How many terms do you give her? What's the wager?
No, I think
taking
she's
a
going to
weekend to
graduate.
it.
I don't think anybody can really fail at the University of Phoenix.
Hey, that's an accredited university.
It's like
She's going to graduate at the top of her class. Summa eat loud.
It's like that Family Guy episode when he's like, "Oh, my kid got into a ride." He's like, "Oh, what did he open the door?"
Jesse, that's I think the joke is more like summa cum laude, summa don't.
So here's
Hey, I just didn't want to think of Chewbacca Mom coming anywhere.
Here's the thing. I live in Walpole, and Walpole is a very soccer mom town. And so when you go to like
Plus
sporting events, well,
Walpole
nothing
is
gets a
30%
soccer mom
prison.
off like a prison, you know. So they've all got a little bad girl in them. So anyway, you go to like these events for your kids, like these stupid, like, you know, there's a harvest fest and there's a pumpkin fest in the fucking park. And every time you go there, there's the soccer mom, and she's wearing her Under Armour yoga pants or Lululemon, depending. And she's got her New Balance sneakers on that she's never
Pants of
actually
the
run in
gods.
whatsoever. And then she's wearing a big chunky scarf made from Nepalese cotton because she's a piece of shit.
I believe they prefer.
Just
And
don't
then-
drop your
I
soul
believe they
fast.
prefer that
fleece.
you phrase it Nepalese and not Nepalese.
Nepalese,
I will not
excuse me,
have
I
you
apologize.
badmouth Lululemon pants.
And then she's
the
wearing
joy it has brought to the train.
and she's wearing her Tiffany bracelets, and she's got a cup of pumpkin spice bullshit because she's a fucking asshole, and the only reason she drinks it is because all the other blonde soccer moms drink it. And she's like, "Oh, hi
I'm a
Becky,
conformist.
look what I've got, pumpkin spice." You know what I want to do? I want to take this pumpkin spice latte and I want to pour it on her stupid head, and then I want to make her go home and change into grown-up fucking clothes, not workout clothes, because you only wear workout clothes when you're fucking working out.
I think you're jealous of stay-at-home moms.
Sarge is spicy.
We definitely broke Sarge this episode. So,
we actually got a dude to be upset when women wear Lululemon pants. I didn't think that would ever happen.
It's fine if you're attractive. It's disgusting if you've had 65 fucking kids.
So we
Are you upset because
Pumpkin
of
spice
Walpole?
is an aphrodisiac. That's
I think the fun
issue.
thing about Walpole soccer moms is I can't get too mad at them because they have their kids playing in a field 30 yards away from the prison field they'll be playing in as adults.
So here's the thing about the prison in Walpole. I had to drive by it every day for work until I quit my
Because
terrible
it's
job.
most of Walpole.
And I started working at a good job that was really nice. And so every day I would drive by the fucking prison. And I would see the prison guards going in. And then every night when I would drive home, I would see prison guards coming out. I have never seen anybody in the prison. I am nearly 100% sure that it is not a real prison. I've never seen
It's
a
a
bus
sweatshop.
going in, dropping off prisoners, or taking them out. I have never, and I drive by this place at all hours of the day because it's right down the fucking street because it's Walpole.
Christian and
hey, if I can, if I could just,
I'm pretty sure it's a joke.
listen, if I could just interject here for a second. I'm watching a video on Facebook, and it's called Wire Hanger Hacks, and not one of these hacks is an abortion. So,
Oh no!
I was wondering. I was actually wondering. The minute you said wire hanger hacks, I was like, abortion?
yeah, no, not one of these.
That's exactly the first thing that
Not
came
one
into
of
my
these
mind.
wire hanger hacks is an abortion. So I think this video has lost all credibility. I'm just putting it out there.
I don't believe
That
it.
that
don't
is
believe
what a
it's-
wire hanger hack is. When you hack at a heart with a
I mean,
wire hanger.
the term life hack carries new meaning, I guess.
Oh my
It
god.
is a little dark when you think about like scraping at your kid like a locked car.
Guys, I have some breaking news. There was a report that there might be lead in the water at Quincy High School, which would explain
Why Jesse
why...
is the way he is.
Exactly.
They did send us home every year with a permission slip that said, "There's asbestos in the building. We're not getting rid of it, but we told you, so you can't sue us." Have a good
You know
school
what the
year.
difference was between North Quincy and Quincy High? At North
Asians.
Quincy High... At North Quincy High...
You
we
guys
would get-
had all of them like fucking Pokemon.
The school would go on lockdown for knives. At Quincy High, the school wouldn't even go on lockdown for guns. They
No,
were
we
like,
went
"Nah,
on lockdown for bombs. That
no
was the
big
only
deal.
time.
No big deal.
So we had 2 bomb days in my 4 years there, where they had to give us the day off of school because they were afraid someone was going to blow it up with a homemade explosive. Because they had two separate credible threats, which turned out to be high schoolers.
So your school was
dicks.
a dumpster in New York?
Yep.
Oh!
Basically.
It's okay to make that joke, no one died.
So...
That's why all
we need to do... We need to do a What the Hell America real quick. Because I've just found this breaking news from 14 hours ago.
There's been a lot of breaking news in this episode.
Right. I'm just gonna read
the last 5 minutes.
I know we're stomping on Jesse's UFO, and we have a listener who really wants to get her question answered. Naked man breaks into home, bites woman, then dies. Just, I'm literally reading this as we're doing this episode, so I need to have you guys guess where.
I mean, I know it's cliche at this point, but it's got to be Florida.
Anybody want to stray from that?
Alabama. I'm gonna go Alabama with this one.
Georgia.
So in Ocala County or Marion County, in
Arizona,
in Ocala, which is I believe Arizona.
Damn.
Oh no! Ocala, Florida. You are right.
Yes!
Ocala, Florida.
Yeah, it has to
Can I
every
just
time.
put this out there? There's I'm looking at a map in this news article, and I'm gonna have to share this picture out because legitimately the map has a place called Funny Farm on it, and it's literally like 2 blocks over from where this person like broke into his house and killed somebody. So we're gonna
Jordan, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to look up police blotters in Massachusetts, specifically for the town called Satan's Kingdom, because that's a real place. And I need to know what kind of crime happens there. I'm kind of personally hoping that it's like really mundane crime, like an old white lady spotted an African American gentleman, or like there was ducks in the road, and somebody called the police. But there is a place called Satan's Kingdom, and I want to know what happens there.
We'll take a look.
So get on that.
So,
hey Jordan, I was gonna send you a message of a woman charged with stabbing husband with ceramic squirrel. I just saw squirrel, and I thought that was hilarious.
So,
anyone want to guess what state?
Oh, this has turned into a whole episode of What the Hell?
Gotta
America.
be Ohio.
You said a ceramic squirrel man charged.
It's gotta be like Illinois or Ohio.
No, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go way outside the box, Iowa.
If this woman had if this woman had a shit ton of ceramic animals, I want to say she's a South Shore mom.
So you're gonna go Massachusetts with this one? You said Ohio.
Yeah, I've never
right?
seen such a concentration of ceramic pets than in like Weymouth mothers' houses.
All right. Here's the answer. Helen Ann Williams, 44, of North Charleston, South Carolina, was charged Christmas Day with domestic violence of a high and aggravated nature. She stabbed her husband with a decorative.
Awesome.
Fucking Szechuan chicken all over again.
Do we? What do we want to take? You want to take bets that this woman turns into a zombie?
Szechuan chicken.
So here's. I'm gonna put this out here. They give.
Apparently, her husband was pissed off that there was no more beer in the home.
So I'm gonna read the rest of this article just real briefly because there's a timeline here, and the timeline legitimately is this.
Hold on. I'm getting ready. Hold on.
While gets ready, you get ready, America.
Turnbuckle talk.
Talking wrestling.
Surprisingly better live than dead. Back from the grave.
Football Talk Weekly.
That is football.
Football Talk Weekly. Is that
yes,
new?
It is new. It is
that
new.
Sounds
it is
new.
Every week it's new.
It's a couple of limey hosts talking about, Hope Solo and the English Premier League.
Hey, Hope Solo is hot as shit. I don't care that she beat up her
cousin.
cousin.
Also, like a hooligan, batters people.
All right, so listen, guys. Here's the timeline of events.
Usually Hope Solo was the girl at a frat party, hoping her solo cup wasn't drunk.
Hey, did you know that Hope Solo was part of the Fappening?
Yes, I did know that.
She's a big fan of showing her beehole, apparently.
You really didn't check out the Fappening.
Me?
So yeah, all right. Here's the timeline, and we're gonna go to Jesse's.
I kind of felt bad for those. Hold on. Hope Solo's beehole is on the internet, and you still want to talk about the ceramic scroll?
No, I want to talk about the woman who was bit by a man who then died.
Oh, okay. All right,
But a naked man.
Now, either she was poisoned or he was a dog.
People inside the home said the naked man came inside without permission. So that's the first step of this timeline.
Was it Brock Turner? Was it Brock Turner?
No. James Raines. James Raines. The man allegedly bit one adult female inside the home. This is step 2 of the timeline. Step 3, the man was taken to a hospital where he died. Deputies said. That's it. That's the fucking timeline of events.
He bit her, and then he died. So she was poisonous.
She has acid for blood.
This is the first case of reverse zombieism ever.
Isn't there like a frog that secretes some type of shit on their skin and then, kills kills the predator that's trying to eat it? This woman is part frog. I think it's an African tree frog or something. Anyway, all right, we've really fucked off a lot here, so let's get to get to Jesse's UFO.
It's been fun.
Jesse, this week's UFO comes from an anonymous caller or texter to me. She texted me because she wants to keep this anonymous, and so she didn't post it on any social media.
She doesn't in any way work with Jordan at one of the many stores he goes to, and her boyfriend also doesn't work there.
Well,
thank you a ton, Sarge. I mean Sarge.
Hey, listen, if you fuckers are gonna dox me, I'm doxing this chick.
So Jesse's phone number
My phone number has gone out there. You see?
Okay, so she wants to know, how do I tell my boyfriend that I want to introduce sex toys into our relationship? And then the follow-up question would be, how long should we be dating before I bring it up?
Did you let her know that there's an apparatus you can attach to an iPhone?
Maybe Jesse could talk about that. There's also an apparatus you can attach to a reciprocating
entertain us.
I do understand they do make vibrators that are now Bluetooth and will hook into your phone, and when you play a song, it'll vibrate to the beat.
Ooh,
which is very interesting.
How Jesse understands that. That's all he said. I understand now that there's this invention.
I wonder how long.
I don't understand classy ways of talking, where people are like, as I understand it, sir.
I wonder how long it would take a woman to orgasm to Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven.
Flight of the Bumblebee.
How are you not? How are the two of you not 55 when you're like, I tell you that there's something that goes to the beat, and you're like, what about Moonlight Sonata?
I'm sorry. Copacabana
Put the
by
bottle
Barry
of wine
Manilow.
down.
Stop saying my name.
You just tried to modernize it, and you said Barry Manilow.
I think every time I hear the word, I'm just gonna bleep it out.
You have to now.
I'm sorry. I'm so not used to calling you by a nickname. People didn't know it was a nickname. Listen, I'm just a huge fan of mid-2000s wrestling group Edge and I feel Sarge looks like
You guys are fucking dicks.
It's my nickname for him. We didn't say your whole name. We didn't.
It's definitely not Kennedy. You know what I was thinking is 669 That's what I was thinking.
What you're doing wrong is you're pissing off the guy who does all the editing. If you also wanted to call 617, there's an alphabet 20.
Bananas and poopies.
Kiss. I love how you didn't think he would respond that way.
Kiss.
There's also bottled by God at yahoo.com.
Yeah, that's my muggle email, so go ahead, email away. I don't pay attention to my mom's emails. Why am I going to pay attention to yours?
It also works at
The Good Life in Boston. Send them to your old job.
Yeah, right. That store doesn't exist anymore. There'll be like 30 people standing out in front with pitchforks and torches.
You'd have to get a lot of listener commitment, and I don't think we have that.
If you want to meet some,
all of our listeners are gone. By the way, not one of them is everyone's already turned off their phone by now. They're all at work.
We have gone off the rails worse than the train in Unbreakable right now.
It's a good call. It's a good call. All right, we're going to have to skip Lawrence this episode and finish up with Jesse's UFO. So, Jesse, please take it away.
617. Yeah, that's 70.
Well, that's not how you ask. All right, how do you ask someone to... I don't know why that's a problem. Like, just ask. that's my theory on like how to ask.
Put it out.
A lot of people are too timid and too intimidated by like sex and relationships that they don't bring up what they want to say. And it would go over 1,000 times better than you even think. If you're just like, hey, I was thinking... maybe we could do some stuff that, vibrates back and forth and such.
I feel like if my wife...
goes all sorts of in and out of places.
I feel like if my wife were like, hey, I want something that's going to help me orgasm faster, I would have already bought it on Amazon.com before she finished the sentence.
It's never a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not even like... sometimes it's fun just to do things a little differently and just bring something else into it. It's not even about coming faster or coming better. It's just something different.
I mean, I guess it depends on the sex toy. You want to get a rabbit? You could talk about that in the first couple of months. You want to get a sex toy from Japan that also makes eggs? Maybe you want to wait a couple of weeks.
If you want to get a ceramic squirrel, you might need a first aid kit.
Yeah.
Yes. But I guess if you can't or feel like you can't talk openly and honestly with your boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other about it, just drive by a porn store and make a joke about, wouldn't it be funny if we stopped in there and pull over? You'd be surprised how often that works.
I'm pretty sure if you do that against somebody's will, it's called kidnapping. Just putting it out there.
Well, I'm not saying throw them in the car and then drive
Stockholm
by.
syndrome.
Just if you know of a porn store in your area and you guys happen to be out for a drive by and be like, hey, why don't we check
That's how
this
Matt's
out?
getting married, by the way, with Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. It's a method used in Sweden, which we don't believe is a real country.
and now you know.
I know.
The question of when would be, I don't know, when you're comfortable sexually with the person. It's not first date material. Actually, no.
You gotta go at it.
World's best Tinder date.
I feel like you gotta go at it like when sex has finally reached that point where you're like, okay, I already know what you kind of look like naked. The new vagina smell has worn off. That's when you're like, okay, let's introduce this egg beater I found.
You know when you stop. You know when you stop telling people you bought a new car and you just drive to their house and they say nice to see you? Don't even bring up the car anymore.
Yeah, that's when you...
that stage of the relationship.
Yeah. Agreed.
But I would say, I don't know, if you're feeling a little devious and you want to see if they're interested, ladies, if you're trying to figure out if your boyfriend wants a sex toy, I don't know, just start putting chapstick on seats you know he'll sit in. Gradually move it up to a lighter, and then be like, hey, you want to go take a field trip?
Honestly, if she just came out of the bedroom one night wearing lingerie and carrying some kind of apparatus, I'm pretty sure he's going to be good with it.
But I will say, I'd say bring them to the store because half the fun is picking it out with them.
I think
it depends on the guy.
The only thing I would caution you on is if it's gas powered, you probably want to stay away from it unless you're in good ventilation.
You don't want too much exhaust
if you're talking
in the room.
Like apparatuses that require power, I don't know. You shouldn't have to plug it in and get a new adapter for
you shouldn't require a surge
fucking
protector
stove.
for the device you purchased. If it takes batteries, you've gone a step beyond.
Did you see there's a chainsaw that's got just a bunch of dildos on it, and it just goes over and over again?
Just mushroom stabbing you for like 20 minutes.
I was going to say, that can't do anything sexual other than smack you in the face with a bunch of dicks.
How about this? You know what's a good way to test it? Put on any Steel Panther song, and if he's uncomfortable, he's not the one.
This has been another episode of Misguided Musings. I am Jordan.
Don't act like you don't like Bukkake Tears.
I am Jordan. We thank you all for listening. We had joined tonight with Matt, Sarge, and Jesse. Again, you can find us all on Twitter at Music Podcast. I am at Muse Knuckle. Jesse is at HAfricanJ. That's African J. Sarge is at Bastard Prophet, and Matt is at 857.
You're welcome, and we're sorry.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.